So we formed a cooperative.
Butch Klaveano is a master of managing for multiple use. He shares grazing lands in north central Idaho with a Garnet Mining operation, recreationists, Potlatch Corporation, and the Forest Service. He shares his private ranch land near Pomeroy, Washington with a wind farm and fences off streams to protect steelhead and water quality. But Klaveano understands that the public doesn't always get the multiple use concept without a little PR and education. This was true in the Fernwood area in north central Idaho.
With all the people that were going up there in the summertime and recreationists, we were starting to get some scrutiny from people wondering, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? They were asking the timber companies, Potlatch, Forest Service, why are you logging? Why are you doing the things you're doing? They were questioning the cattlemen. Are you destroying the property? You're destroying the riparian areas.
So the different parties working side by side in the 50,000-acre area formed the Emerald Creek Management Cooperative. About 10 different entities participated.
It was just to tie everything together, educate the public, as well as educating ourselves, because each one of us were kind of separate little entities out here, units. And so as we visited more and more and went to meetings, we kind of understood what each of us were doing. The end result was a good thing. Everybody was happy. Just like any good relationship, it's all communications.
Klaveano grazes about 900 cow-calf pairs in the Fernwood area in the summer. He has about 2,000 acres of meadow bottomland next to Emerald Creek. He leases a portion of the meadow to Emerald Creek Garnet. The mining company excavates a small portion of the meadow at a time, extracts the garnet, and then reclaims the land afterwards.
We lease the land for mining from the ranchers. We cooperate in the fencing out areas where we're mining so that we don't conflict with the grazing, and we also fence it out to keep the cattle off of the reclamation plots.
The mining company has received several excellence awards from the state of Idaho for its work in restoring Emerald Creek on Klaveano's property.
The stream is designed by hydrologists for optimum fish habitat. The idea behind the alders is to shade the stream to keep the water temperatures low. We have glides and riffles in the stream to enhance spawning beds and feeding areas for the trout. It's, again, more friendly in terms of habitat to cutthroat trout.
The garnet mineral is used as a cleanser for sandblasting ships and also for water jet cutting to remove paint and other things. The general public travels to the same area to mine star garnets on Forest Service land. Butch Klaveano visits with people at a nearby campground to talk and listen about multiple use.
I wanted to really hear what they had to say, to educate myself as much as them about what their thoughts and feelings were. Little kids, they really love the livestock. They love seeing the cows, and as farmers and ranchers, we're trying to do the best thing we can for the area. But we also need to be educated. We have to get out of our own little mind thought of just doing what's best for us. We have to do what's best for the whole area, for all the public.
When the Forest Service suggested fencing off Emerald Creek to protect the stream from cattle, Klaveano was happy to cooperate.
There's several little meadows up this valley that they pasture. I just fenced them off the creek. We do have 2 watering sites on the creek itself where the cattle can go in. They're hardened water sites so that they don't do any stream, they don't break off the banks of the stream. The Forest Service has been very good to work with.
Indeed, Forest Service officials agree. Kim Freimeyer, a range technician for the St. Joe National Forest, said the fencing project protects riparian vegetation, stream banks, and spawning areas for West Slope cutthroat trout. She commended Klaveano for cooperating on the project. He is well known in our area for pretty good grazing techniques, and that's coming from a botanist. At Klaveano's home ranch near Pomeroy, Washington, his winter grazing pastures are now being shared with 14 wind turbines installed by Puget Sound Energy. Each wind turbine produces enough power for 500 homes for a year. Klaveano receives a percentage of the revenue produced by the turbines.
The best use for this land is grazing, and now we have multiple use again with wind energy. And so it's really a green power as well as the cattle are a eco-friendly thing. So You know, it's really a win-win for our county and for the whole country. We've got great infrastructure now. We have roads for access for fire, spraying weeds, checking cattle. It's been excellent for us.
Klaveano also supports water quality and steelhead spawning habitat on his ranch. To that end, he's fenced off 2 streams in cooperation with the Washington Department of Ecology. The first project was on Meadow Creek with the objective of improving water quality. Washington Department of Ecology officials say the project has improved water quality in Meadow Creek. Before and after photos show the change in riparian vegetation. The second project on Dead Man Creek will benefit steelhead habitat. It cost about $30,000. Klaveano contributed 25% of the cost. Dwayne Bartels of the Pomeroy Conservation District explains.
We're still improving water quality, but we're also looking at providing more shade for the stream, so we're planting willow trees. We're allowing a stream crossing, which is right here. This is a water source for the cattle. It's hardened so that when they water or drink, they don't stir up a bunch of sediment. We've got actually 8 miles of stream, so we've got 16 miles of fence because we're fencing both sides of the stream. You can graze it lightly a couple times a year, probably earlier in the spring. They could, get it down to 4 inches or so and then get it out. That gives the grass a chance to go ahead and seed itself.
Department of Ecology officials are monitoring the results to track increases in spawning areas. Wally Butler of the Idaho Farm Bureau says Klaveano's mastery of multiple use management serves as a good example to other ranchers.
I'm a Butch Klaveano fan. He's way ahead of the bulk of the ranching operators because they've got many facets to their operation, always looking for opportunities, but doing it in an environmentally friendly way, very progressive. And absolutely is an example of things that the rest of the ranching community could be doing and at least ought to take a look at.